What actions are you taking to generate consensus among the Common Council to increase the passage rate of meritorious projects?
Well, one of the successes that I've had, or many successes I've had, has been collaborating with a diverse group of people. As I mentioned earlier to you when we were off camera, I work for a manufacturing company. We have 7 manufacturing plants throughout the United States. I work individually and collectively with those general managers to be able to steer that company in the right direction. But I've been able to effectively communicate to them the need and also give them the evidence-based information that they can understand so that they can see that they were on the wrong course. When you when you deal with information that is sound, is evidence-based, and are working towards trying to bring about best practices, you can bring a consensus. It takes some time. You have to be very accurate in the information you're bringing forth. But when you do that and you're able to be in a mode of working together to want to achieve a common goal, it's not all that difficult to get a consensus. But you have to have practiced that. Many of the candidates have not had that opportunity, I don't believe. You have to be in an organization for some time in order to get that respect. And it does start with respect. It starts with the way that you communicate with one another, the way that you treat with one another. I met with many of the council people already on the council and tried to develop a relationship with them so that when we are successful in this campaign, and we'll have the ability to be able to have that relationship already established. It takes time to build that trust, because trust is where you start to work together. If you don't have that trust, it makes it very difficult to also then gain respect. And those are some of the very basic needs of our city council, to generate trust amongst one another and respect one another, because there are going to be differences. But at the end of the table, at the end of the game, you've got to be able to come together, you've got to move ahead, and you've got to realize that maybe your idea is not the one that's going to be adopted, but you still get behind that idea, and you then are not divisive about it, and you're not obstructionist. Even though you may have an idea that you think is the best idea, if your colleagues feel that you need to be in a different direction because it will be more beneficial to the city as a whole versus one particular ward, then you get behind that issue, and then you are supportive of it. That's not the way our city council has worked, but it's a way that the city council has to be brought together to understand that that's the way that the outside interests need to look at our community in order to be able to be attracted to come to our community. And I think that's a key ingredient. I think that's the major reason that we are in bankruptcy today, is because that city council has not been together. If you go back to the bankruptcy vote, to go into bankruptcy, they voted 4-1. They weren't even, they didn't have a consensus. They had a bare minimum 4 votes in order to move that resolution forward. That should not have been how they were looking for. They should have known that there's only one way to go at this point in time, and we have to go into bankruptcy in order to salvage the city. They didn't do that. So you can see that even in the current council and the makeup of that council, they couldn't get together. It needs change. It needs to be someone that understands the information and can help them to then come together. And those are some of the things that I've been very successful in my current career as a corporate controller and as a CFO for other companies, and so I've had that ability to do that. Not everybody gets that opportunity to do that.
Right.
And some of those that are that are running for, they're I believe have not had that experience to be able to do that.